Welcome back. Well, in the last couple of years, millions of Americans have either changed jobs or maybe even started retirement. And anytime we have a change like this, it's a lot of paperwork and some things can get lost in the shuffle. And one thing you want to be vigilant about is your 401k options. And Marshall Clay with the Welch Group joins us now this morning with some tips that you should always keep in mind. Thanks for being with us today.
Oh, you're welcome.
So when you have this money that you're transferring, whatever your situation is, retirement or switching jobs, you have a couple of options, right?
Right. And, this is a very typical scenario that I run into where someone says, look, I've got a current 401k, but I changed jobs a couple of times over the last several years. And I know I've got thousands of dollars out there, but I've really just lost track of it.
Don't know where they are.
Yeah. So why is this important, right? Why should you consider rolling over your 401k? And when I say roll over, I mean roll those assets either to your new 401k or to an individual retirement account at a brokerage like Schwab or Fidelity or TD Ameritrade. So why is this important? So the first one is more investment strategies, right? And so when you look at the various 401k accounts that are out there, some of them have limited options, some of them have greater options than the others. So you want to have the most options that you can possibly have. And so that's very important to search for the place where you can have the most investment options out there. The second thing is clarity of strategy. And so when you're trying to determine, look, how are my assets positioned, my asset allocation, if you're only looking at that current 401k and not taking into consideration those old assets, you may be making changes that are unnecessary, and you may be not making changes that are necessary in your particular account. So it's very important to have clarity of strategy and visibility over all of the assets. And the last thing I would say is just look at monitoring your performance relative to your assumptions. So when we're making a plan, when we're trying to plan for the future, we're making some assumptions about rates of return, savings rates, all those sorts of things. And I equate it to training for a run race, and you're training for time without a watch. You don't know if you're making any progress. And so you've got to make sure that the asset allocation is correct. You got to make sure that your rate of return is appropriate to meet those long-term goals, and then hold yourself accountable and be able to make tweaks along the way.
And you told me that if someone has lost some of that money, there are ways and websites. Y'all actually have a blog post coming out this afternoon.
We actually do. Yeah, we actually do. And I think they just put it up on the screen briefly.
Okay.
But your viewers can visit welchgroup.com this afternoon, and we're going to have an article posted online there where they can walk through some steps if they've lost an old 401k, and it's an amazing number. I think there's around $1.3 trillion of old 401k assets that either are being mismanaged, lost. So, have your viewers look at that website and take some steps to reclaim those lost
That's
assets.
a lot of money.
It is. It is.
I mean,
yeah.
1.35 trillion that's potentially out there. So make sure that you have all your money in line. Marshall,
Absolutely.
thank you for being with us today.
You're welcome.
All right, well, coming up here on Good Day.